the unifier of the 43rd Assembly District.
Yeah!
Our new
Yeah!
Assembly member, Brian Cunningham.
Wow. Wow. It's been an incredible 2 months on this part of the journey. And there's been so many people in the room that have been thanked already. But I want to thank our host tonight, Lips Cafe. For always hosting. Like every morning, this is a stop, right? On the way to work, stopping, getting that latte, getting that fuel for the day. But more importantly, just signifying that this space that we call our community can be built by people in our community, both in political spaces and in business spaces and in housing and other areas. So thank you so much for creating an environment in which people can come and get together and work together. So thank you. This space is really special to me. I had a fundraiser here a few months ago. And why it's so special is because I grew up around the corner, literally around the corner. I tell Jermaine the story all the time that I was born on Linden Boulevard, 275 Linden Boulevard. My mother came here in the 1970s. It was our first apartment. And through that window of 83 on the first floor, I remember looking out the window and just seeing the community. And I think that's where I first got it, that this was a collection, more than a collection of blocks, but just people and experience that pulled us all together. My mom is not here tonight. She was out campaigning all day, and her feet hurt right now. So she's putting her feet up. But I really just want to say thank you to my mother because, you know, she really instilled in my sister and I the idea that service is the rent you pay for living, right? Whether in public service or in ministry or whatever your vocation is, that is how you give to your community. You give of yourself. You give everything of yourself. And I wouldn't be here without her love, her guidance, and her support. So, Mom, I love you, and I'm grateful. Other person, obviously, that is 1A and 1B, 1A and 1A, Mom and Steph, my wonderful wife, Stephanie Cunningham. I'm not gonna cry. But I'm soft when it comes to Stephanie.
You better not cry.
It's allergies.
The reality is, like, me and Stephanie started dating 17 years ago. We're married for 10 years. I know I don't look that old, but we've been at this for a while. And one thing that I love my wife is not somebody that just stands beside me. My wife is the conscience of my existence. My wife advises me not just in my personal affairs, but in my politics and my professional life. And I wouldn't be the man I am without you. And I am totally grateful for all the sacrifice that you make every single day to allow this to happen. I don't take it for granted. No one wins a race alone, both in your home and out your home. And I know that this community here, everyone, when you look around Vaughn, my former colleague, I won't even begin to call the name because I'm going to get myself into a lot of trouble. And a lot of names have been called. But everyone in this room, my sister-in-law right there crying as always, has really helped pull this together and allowed us to be a part of this 20-year journey of starting in high schools, working with young people who are underage, overcredited, undercredited, and taking that journey from seeing a community that wasn't serviced properly and setting our sights on how do we create equitable policies. And that's how I started my internship with State Senator Kevin Parker, who's not here tonight, but was my first job in politics and a political ally and friend and a mentor. And I am so grateful for his opportunities that he's given me. County Leader, thank you so much. I am so grateful for all the support, all the calls, and just keeping me honest and accountable to our community. My district leaders, thank you so much. I know right after that county vote was over, it was like, what do we do to get to the finish line? And I'm grateful for that work that you guys put in to make sure that we got to the finish line. I'm so grateful. Martha, Paul, I don't see Martha, but Martha is the heartbeat of the campaign. You know, oftentimes we talk about promoting women and making sure that women are elevated. We wanted to make sure we surrounded our team led by women. So Martha, thank you for taking this opportunity and working hard and putting your head down and making this happen. Yes. Amen. My sister, Rita, I'm grateful. When you ran for council, I was right there. And when I decided to go on this crazy journey, you were right there. 1A and 1B, I got your back in Albany. I know you got my back here in the city, and we're going to work together with your team and make sure we do the best job for this community. Again, today is just the beginning. Rev, thank you.
Bless him.
Thank you, Rev. Thank you, Rev. No, and Rev doesn't represent just himself, but a church community, a faith community, and preachers who aren't here, like Pastor Monroe and Pastor Galliverth and Pastor Cohall, and so many of the pastors who made this journey possible, both from a spiritual perspective, First Baptist, Pastor Moore, but so many pastors who guided me in my spiritual journey and kept me grounded spiritually, and I'm grateful for that. Brooklyn Young Dems in the house. Thank you so much for your support. And most importantly, this community. Again, there is serious work to be done tonight. Tonight's a little bit of rest. And tonight is just the beginning of a long road ahead. When we talk about housing in this community, whether you're a tenant or a renter, you're feeling the pinch of the economic crisis, right? Rents are too high and property taxes are too high, right? We are not going to separate those two things. We're going to fight every single day to make sure that folks who were born and raised to be like myself and my wife can stay in these communities, and folks who come to these communities can be welcomed in and be a part of the fabric of our community.
That's right.
We're not pushing anyone out of this community. We're going to embrace everyone, and we're going to keep this community together. In terms of public safety, there's no question over the last few weeks, things have gotten really bad in our community. And across the city, and we have an obligation to keep our community safe, but also create a pathway for restorative justice for folks who created harm and who want to come back home and do the right thing. Education, I know Rita's going to be on me about education and making sure that our young people get the best opportunities they can possibly get. So we have a lot of work ahead, right? And this is just, as you know, an opportunity to go in here tomorrow and work on the budget and work on legislation in this session. Well, we got another election in June.
Yeah, of course.
And we have a challenge in November. Right. And we won't rest because we have every 2 years, it's going to be an ongoing process of running and reminding voters on why they sent us to Albany. They don't send us to Albany to do easy things, otherwise they would do it themselves. They send us to do hard things. And I want to work in tandem, in collaboration. Jeff Lindo, what's up? With all of our community partners, with all of our stakeholders, to make sure we deliver on the promises that we made in this campaign. I will not always be perfect. If anyone comes to you and says that I'm gonna get to Albany, everything's gonna change right away, they're not telling you the truth. But we're gonna be intentional and work hard every single day to make sure we deliver, make sure we listen, and make sure we lead with integrity and authenticity. So I thank you all for tonight, and I'm looking forward to getting to work tomorrow.
You report to work tomorrow morning. Not a budget to negotiate.
Yeah. We're looking forward to getting to Albany and doing the work, and my wife reminded me that we need a blessing, so Rev,
I already called on the Reverend.
over the stage and over this beginning.
By the way, one is
The boss has spoken.
you know?
We're gonna pray first.
Yeah, pray first and then the
Bow our heads. Heavenly Father, we are eternally grateful. You said the steps of a righteous man are ordered by God. We know you have ordered Brian's steps. His life's work has prepared him for this particular moment. This moment in time that you've known from the conception of him from his mother's womb. And even as we have crime on the rise, a lack of affordable housing, children with the basic essentials in schools, we know you have raised them up for such a time as this.
Amen.
And so even as tomorrow, as he goes to embrace the capital, the budget cycle, and all those who have agendas, we pray that you'll strengthen him. As he has found favor with you, we know he'll find favor with men and women, and with children, and with this community. We pray for his wife. Even in the days he's in Albany, may their union, their bond be as strong, good now,